Hey there, my name's Dave. Welcome to Falcon Financial Group. I'm creating a series of videos here all around the premise of skills that would help implementers kind of be better at what they do. And much of this is gained off of life experience. I've been implementing Business Central and its various forms for about 20 years. And so I've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't. Okay. I've, through my own mistakes, through watching other people, and I just thought that kind of at this point in my career, it'd be a good idea to kind of start sharing some of those insights, just for, people coming into into that whole space, just as a way to help out. So, if you like what you hear, if this is helpful, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more, right? This is going to be the first of a series. This series is not going to be exhaustive, right? My list and my experiences are not exhaustive, so you probably have other experiences as well. So feel free to comment, but if you see topics you want me to cover, let me know. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're starting. So let's get started. Today's this session is on listening. All right. And I think listening is one of those skills. It's an art form in many ways, insofar as it's something that has to be honed, right? You have to practice and practice and practice. You have to you have to quiet yourself a little bit to be able to be a good listener. And you have to learn to shut up, which is a lot of people struggle with that. I think it's the ability to listen with the purpose of understanding, not just to hear it, right, but to understand. And especially when you're talking about, meetings, say in a kickoff meeting or something like that with a brand new client, with a brand new implementation, and or a re-implementation for that matter, and to sit down with the client and say, let's talk about what you want to do. Because when you're doing that, you're coming in to a situation that is not ideal. In other words, the client is never going to sit down in a kickoff meeting and say, I'll tell you what, this old system we're using, 1985, runs like a champ. Love keeping up servers. Can't get enough of it. It's just great. We love it. That's never going to happen. You're going to walk in and they will have a list of problems, right? And your job is to listen in order to solve those problems, right? So something's wrong. They have pain. They have a problem. They have a series of problems. They have pain. The key is to hear those pain points, to understand them within the context of their business environment, competition, taxation, all those kinds of things have to play into it. And then to solve as many of those situations, those pain points, as you can, okay? So if you're not listening, you're not going to have any idea what these are or what they mean. So this is a very active listening, not a passive listening at all. I'll share with you a very painful story for me where I did not listen very well, and it was difficult. Back in the day, quite a while ago, I was working with a VAR who was, when we were working within the Mid-Atlantic states and working specifically with school districts and implementing a version of Navision at the time that was specific to school districts. And so I was charged with one state, myself and another colleague, and we were kind of going through this roadshow, and we were just hammering out these various school districts, and we were told, don't worry about it. They're all the same. They all function the same. They all have the same reporting. They have to meet a specific criteria. So it's just cookie cutter. Great. Love it. And that was true until I hit one school district and one particular district. And I went in and just kind of had my, I got this hat on. And they kept trying to tell me things, and I kept hearing them with my filter on, right? Filter of you guys are all the same. And and I kind of I got the sense that they kept looking at each other funny, like he's not really getting it. But I was like, yeah, I got this. And I was young. and we got to a certain point in the training. It was actually as far as the training, where all of a sudden I was training on this process, and somebody stopped, raised their hand, and said, "Dave, this is not how we do this." And I said, "Really? So how is it you do handle this?"
Excuse me, darling. What is it exactly that you do?
And they said, they explained it. And I said, okay, that's very different. And obviously the training was shortcut. And I had to go back to the main office and basically just look and say, hey, we have a problem up there because this is not working. Had I listened, had I shut my mouth and listened, had I not gone in with preconceived notions, I would have done a much better job, I think. But I know I would have, because it was very difficult. But I learned from that pain. I learned. So, the key is being able to really gain a sense of who the client is, what their situation is, what their pain points are. Don't start talking about what the system can do, right? Yes, they're going to ask you, how would you handle this? How would you handle that? And you can throw around some ideas, but don't pin yourself down, right? Because you really need to kind of walk through that with them a little more deeply. And don't try to tell them how much you know, because what they want to know is, does this person understand us, and do they care, right? Do they really want to do a good job on our behalf, or is this guy just rolling through and just doesn't care? So I think all of those things are super important, right? And so learn how to really effectively be quick to listen, right? Really focus on your listening skills, feedback to the client. Here's what I heard you say. Is that correct? Let them correct you if that's the case. A little humility goes a long way in this. And you'll do a much better job for the client in the long run. So that's it. That's the spiel on listening. If you like it, thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. Glad to have you along. There will be more of these coming as we go. So, take that one, give it a try, put it to work, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.